Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Carmen. Welcome. So in this video today, I'm going to show you how to use numerology to find out if you are an empath. Now, I've already done a video about this, but that video was made a couple of years ago, and I wanted to do an update to that because there's a lot of information that I did not include in that video. So I'm going to be including it today in this one. And this will be a comprehensive way to find out and discover if you are an empath very quickly and very easily. And all you need is your date of birth and your full name. Just knowing that alone in a few seconds, you can discover if you're an empath. But let's talk about what exactly an empath is first and some of the common signs that you might be an empath. If you have these common signs, then you are definitely an empath. And the numbers are just a way to kind of confirm this, or to basically confirm things if you're a little bit confused. I will also be giving you some very easy and simple techniques and easy things that you can do to help protect your energy if it turns out that you are an empath. So what is an empath first? An empath is somebody who can basically sense another person's energy. So you are somebody who can kind of tune in to the way another person is feeling, or even sometimes the way another person is thinking. And you don't even need to be around that person to sense their energy. You could just see them on social media or even just be thinking about them, and you can already pick up on their energy and you can sense basically what they're feeling or sometimes what they're thinking. So I'm an empath, and when I discovered that I was an empath, it was life-changing for me because basically I discovered the missing link as to why my energy would change so frequently for no reason at all. And that's one of the common signs that you're an empath. You could be having a great day and you're feeling really positive and you're feeling really happy, but then, when you're around certain people, suddenly this happiness goes away or you start feeling very negative. And what's happening is you are sensing that other person's energy and you don't even realize it. So that other person is feeling bad, and then you start feeling bad. And you might be thinking that this is you, right? That this is just you that is feeling this way, but really what it is that you are feeling the other person's emotions. You're sensing their energy. And a lot of times empaths will be very up and down. They'll feel great, and then they'll feel bad, and then they'll feel great, and then they'll feel bad. But really, it's just that you're sensing other people's energy and your energy field isn't being protected. So basically, we all have an energetic field surrounding us, and when you're an empath, there's not a strong boundary between your energetic field and everybody else's. So because there's not a strong boundary, when your energy field comes into contact with another person's energy field, you can pick up on all kinds of information, right? You're picking up on the energy field of that other person because there's a weak boundary between yours and other people's. And so there's a lot of great things about this. And there's also some negative things about this as well. The great thing is that, if you want to be in a healing profession or to do some sort of spiritual work involving energy, then this is a gift that's been given to you and you can use this to your advantage. And I'm going to talk about some ways that you can definitely use this to your advantage in the video as well. So first of all, we need to start thinking of it as a gift because it really is, right? It's a gift to be able to sense other people's energy because there's so much that you can do with that, right? Especially if you are a healer. But the problem is if you don't know what's going on, and if you don't know how to protect your energy, then it becomes a problem. Because basically what's happening is you're a sponge when you're an empath. You are basically absorbing the energy of that person. And it's very common for empaths to attract energy vampires into their lives. People that are more on the negative side of things, basically, and have a more negative energy, they will be drawn to you. Because what happens is you being an empath and you being a sponge, you are basically absorbing that other person's negative energy, and then they feel leaving wonderful and feeling great, but then you've taken on basically all of that negativity. So think of it that way, is if your energy isn't protected, then you're kind of like a sponge absorbing everybody else's negativity. And so one of the common signs of an empath is feeling very drained. Just being around certain people and you just feel drained. And that's because you really were drained. You became a sponge and absorbed that other person's negativity, and now you're carrying it around with you. And so feeling very drained when you're around certain people is a big sign of being an empath, especially when you are in large social situations. So like if you're in a crowd of people, feeling very drained when you go into large crowds, or feeling very anxious and feeling very ungrounded, or feeling kind of like you're all over the place and your energy is kind of up and down. This is a common sign that you're an empath, because what's happening is, you know, when you're in a crowd of people, it's not just that you're absorbing and picking up on the energy fields of one person, you're basically feeling the energy fields of every person in that room, and feeling very anxious and kind of up and down is very common for them. Now, I'm an empath, and you know, my whole life I've always hated going into shopping malls and I could never figure out why that was, but as soon as I would go into a shopping mall, I would just feel horrible. And I would feel so negative, even if I was having the best day. And I could never figure out why that was until I discovered that I was an empath and I wasn't protecting my energy field. Another common sign that you're an empath is your feelings get hurt really easily, right? Because if you're ultra sensitive to what's going on around you and everybody else's energy field, then it makes sense that your feelings will be affected more easily than other people's. You know, people say something to you and you take it more personally a little bit than other people would. That's very common with empaths. Another thing is people pleasing. People pleasing is a very big one for empaths. And that's because when you're around another person, you can sense if your actions make them happy or not, even if they don't say anything. Remember, that's the thing with empaths, is you can sense other people's feelings and energy even without them showing any visual signs on their face, right? Or them telling you exactly how they're feeling, you still know how they're feeling. And so this is common with empaths, that they'll get into relationships and they can always sense the other person's feelings in regards to what their actions are. And so it's very common for empaths to basically change their behavior and to change their actions to make the people in their lives happy. They become people pleasers. And it makes sense too. If you're a very sensitive person, if you're in a relationship with someone and you do something and you can tell that person is not happy with it, then you will change your actions to become more pleasing to that person so that you don't have to feel that disappointment coming from that person, right? And like I said before, with being an empath, you don't even have to be in the room with the person to sense this. Just thinking of that person and you can already kind of feel how they're feeling. You can pick up on what they might be thinking, and especially their feelings towards you. And like I said before, this is a gift if you know how to use it, especially if you're a healer. And by the way, if you are an empath, you are definitely a light worker. So a light worker is somebody who basically has come to the planet during this time in our human history to help heal the planet and to help bring more light down onto planet Earth, because Mother Earth wants to become a higher vibrational planet. And that's what's happening to the planet right now. The planet is rising in vibration and is basically becoming a more high vibrational planet. And it's happening at this point in time in our history. So if you're an empath and you are a light worker, you are somebody who is sent down on this planet at this time to help with this process. So often empaths will go into healing professions. Now, not all empaths go into healing professions. Sometimes you'll be an empath and a light worker and you're just in a regular profession, right? And you're in that regular profession to bring healing and to help bring more light in your place wherever you are. So you can just have a regular job and a normal career if you're an empath and a light worker. That's very common too. But you can definitely use it to your advantage if you are a healer. So for instance, I use this all the time when I give people readings. So somebody will just mention the name of the person that they want to know about, and just by having the name of that person, I can think about them and I can sense how that person is feeling in regards to the person I'm giving the reading to. And I can pick up on all kinds of information as to, you know, how that person is feeling about them, why they've done certain things, how, you know, what they're currently doing, what their current energy situation is and how they're currently feeling. So you can definitely use being an empath to your advantage. So clairsentience is the main thing that empaths have. And clairsentience is basically clear feeling, being able to clearly feel the way another person is feeling, or to understand and know the way other people are feeling. If you want to find out about some of the other psychic abilities, I like to think of the other psychic abilities as in a separate category than being an empath. They're a little bit different, such as claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairaudience. And you could definitely use your chart in numerology to find out if you have those other psychic abilities as well. And I did a video on how to do that. If you want to find out about the other psychic abilities, then check out that video. I'll put a link to it below. So now that we've talked about some of the common signs that you're an empath, I'm going to show you how to look for certain numbers within your numerological birth chart. Because if you have certain numbers, then that's definite confirmation that you are an empath, because there are certain numbers in numerology that are super highly empathic. So I'm going to show you right now exactly where to look for these numbers in your chart. And I'm going to show you how to calculate a couple of these numbers right now. It's very simple, it's very easy. If you want to find out how to calculate the rest of your chart, then you can check out a video on how to do this. I'll put a link to it below in the description box. If you already have your chart calculated, then you can skip to that part of the video. I'll put the timestamp for that right here. So to calculate your life path number, all you need to do is take the month, day, and year of your birth and reduce each one of those to a single digit. Then you're going to take those three numbers and add them together and keep reducing them until you get a single digit. And that is your life path number. This is my preferred method, but you can also just add all of the numbers in your entire birthday straight across until you get a single digit as well. If you get an 11, 22, or 33 as the final two numbers, okay, the final two numbers only, then those are master numbers and you don't reduce them. To calculate your expression number, all you need to do is take the first, middle, and last name written on your birth certificate and find the corresponding numbers to each letter in your full name. So you're going to find all of the letters in your first, middle, and last name and the corresponding numbers using the Pythagorean number system, and then just add every single number straight across until you get a single digit. However, if the final two numbers, okay, the final two numbers, only the final two numbers, if they're an 11, 22, or 33, those are master numbers and you don't reduce those ones. To calculate your soul urge number, you're going to use the same name that is written on your birth certificate, and that's okay if you don't have a middle name, whatever is written on your birth certificate, and you're going to find all of the vowels in your name, and you're going to look up the corresponding numbers for those vowels. And these days, I usually consider Y a vowel. And then just add all of those numbers straight across until you get a single digit. And if you get an 11, 22, or 33 as the final two numbers, then those are master numbers and you don't reduce them. So these are the empath numbers, and let me explain why these are the empath numbers, and then I'll show you where exactly to look for these in your chart, and then I'm going to show you what exactly you can do to protect your energy if you are an empath. 2 is a highly empathic number, and it's a very intuitive number as well. And that's because 2 is all about working in partnership with others. So working in a partnership, whether that be in relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, partnerships at work, it's all about like all kinds of different partnerships, and it's about balance. Balance and harmony within the self and within partnerships. In order for people with the 2 energy to carry out this very important purpose of working in partnership, they need to be empathic and they need to have empathy for other people. And so they have been given the gift of empathic abilities to be able to sense how the other person is feeling and to be able to use that in carrying out their purpose. And it's the same thing with the 6 energy as well. 6 is the number of the family, the community, and love. And people with this energy have a very responsible energy to them, and often they are healers and really good at working with others and helping others. They tend to go into the helping professions. So in order for them to carry out this purpose, they have been given the gift of empathy and empathic abilities. And it makes sense if you think about it, because how can you help, heal, and take care of other people, which is kind of the purpose of the number 6 energy? How can you do any of that if you have no empathy for others, right? If you can't empathize with what they're going through. If you can't fully understand what they're going through, then you'll never be able to completely heal or take care of them. And so that's why 6 is a very empathic number, and it's the same reason why 2 is a very empathic number as well, because 2s have a similar purpose. And it's the same reason why number 9 is an empath number as well. As I always say in many of my videos, 9 is the last number, so it's a very highly evolved number, and it represents everyone, right? Where 1 is the number of the individual, 9 is the number of everyone. So it represents all of humanity and all of the world as well. So on the positive side, it's a very humanitarian number, and it can be a very environmentalist number as well. And because of this, it has a lot of empathic abilities, so that 9 can become the great humanitarian or environmentalist that it was meant to become. Master 11 also has a lot of empathic intuitive abilities because it has a lot of the 2 energy within it. If you add the 2 ones together, you get a 2. So 11s tend to have a lot of the 2 energy and the 1 energy as well. Master number 22 has a lot of the 4 energy within it because if you add the 2 2s together, you get a 4. But it also has a lot of the 2 energy within it because of the double 2s. And so Master 22s often can be very super empathic because of this double 2 energy within them. Master 33 is an empath number because if you add the 2 3s together, you get a 6. So 33 is considered a 33-6. And as I had talked about before, 6 is a very empathic number. 7 has a lot of psychic abilities. They tend to have really strong claircognizance. That is the number 1 thing that they usually tend to have, and they can often have other psychic abilities as well, such as clairvoyance and clairaudience. And sometimes they can even tell what other people are thinking because that's part of their claircognizance. But 7 doesn't have what I consider the empathic abilities, which is sensing another person's energy and being able to feel what they are feeling. But if you want to find out more about this, then check out my video on using numerology to discover if you're psychic. So now I'm going to show you exactly where to look for these numbers in your chart. So if you have one of these numbers as either your life path number or your soul urge, or your expression number, because the expression number, part of that also includes some of the skills and abilities that you bring into this world as well. So it can be any of those 3, life path, soul urge, or expression number. Then you are an empath. So this is the number 1 way that I will look to see if somebody is an empath when I'm giving personal readings to people. Now, I've noticed that the more you have these numbers as these 3 key numbers, usually the more empathic you will be. So let's say that one of these numbers is, you've got 2 of these, right? Your life path and your soul urge is one of these. Then you're going to be even more empathic than if you had just only one of them as one of these numbers. It definitely goes up in levels the more you have these numbers in these 3 key positions. But you don't have to have these numbers in one of those 3 key positions. If you have one of these numbers appearing 3 times or more in your chart, then you are an empath. Now, it can be in your core chart, which are the numbers that I've listed off to the right side. It could be one of those core numbers, or it could be anywhere in your chart. If you see one of these numbers appearing 3 times or more anywhere in your chart, then you are an empath. The third method is if your chart contains mostly these numbers in any combination. So maybe your chart has a few other numbers, but most of your chart are the empath numbers. In any combination at all, then you are definitely an empath. And the final way to check if you are an empath is if you have a 2 challenge. Now, the challenge numbers are the negative aspects of a number that we all have. We all have 4 challenges, and basically we will have the negative aspects of that number if we have that number as a challenge number. And with the 2 challenge, you'll have some of the more difficult parts of the 2 energy, which are being overly sensitive, feelings getting hurt very, very easily. And part of that is because of being an empath, right? And not having strong boundaries between your energy field and other people's energy fields. And that is the challenge of the number 2 challenge. And you learning how to overcome this and to use it to your advantage. So if you don't know what your challenge numbers are, then you can check out my video on how to calculate these challenge numbers and how to interpret them. I'll put a link to that below in the description box as well. But if you have a 2 challenge, then you are definitely an empath. Now, if you have a 2 challenge in combination with something else on this list, then you're going to be even more empathic. So the more things on this list that you have checked off, then you'll be even more empathic and even more of a highly sensitive person. So now let's talk about what you can do to protect your energy as an empath. And this is the most important part of the whole video. And by the way, protecting your energy doesn't mean that you won't be able to tune into other people's energy when you want to anymore, or use the skill if you are in a spiritually based practice, or, if you're a healer. It doesn't mean that you won't be able to use the skill anymore. If anything, when you protect your energy, the skill becomes even stronger. Because you become more in control of this ability and you're able to use it during times when you choose to and when you want to, and not just because it's happening to you randomly, in times when you don't want it to happen. And this has been the situation with me, that ever since I started protecting my energy, my ability to use this skill whenever I choose to has become a lot stronger. The number 1 thing you can do, and it's the most important and the easiest thing you can do, is just ask for protection. Ask for protection every single day. Every single day when I wake up in the morning, it's the first thing that I do. And you can ask either God, or you can ask the universe, or you can ask Archangel Michael, whoever you feel comfortable asking. All you have to do is ask for spiritual protection. So what I do is I wake up in the morning and I ask Archangel Michael to please protect me with his blue cloak of protection for the next 24 hours or for the next day. And I ask him to protect me against all negative energy and to protect me against any harm. And I also ask him to protect my loved ones, my home, and my car as well. Why not, right? It's like I'm asking him for protection. Why not just ask for everything to be protected, right? So, and this has been a game changer for me. Ever since I started doing this, like, my life has completely changed. I don't have any anxiety anymore like I used to. I don't, I'm usually pretty positive throughout most of the day. This has been a very important thing for me to do, and it's really helped me out a lot. And Michael is the archangel who is known for protection, but you don't have to ask him. You can ask God or the universe as well. Now, the second thing you can do is you can wear crystals. And each crystal has its own special physical composition to it, which helps it to have its own special, unique energy. So each crystal does something special because it kind of has its own unique energy. And black tourmaline is really good for protection. It really helps to protect you against negative energy that might be around you. It just sucks up all of that negative energy around you. It sucks it all in. And so it's amazing. And I wear black tourmaline every single day. I wear a bracelet. Black obsidian does the same thing as well. So these are great for protection. And they're great for grounding you too. So if you feel, often people that are empaths are not very well grounded. So it will help to ground you as well. And of course, with these crystals, you need to cleanse them every month. You can just put them out in the moonlight or in the sunlight, but they do need to be cleansed because they're soaking up so much negative energy, right? It's like it needs to be released somehow. Otherwise, they're not going to help you, right? So they need to be cleaned out, I would say like on a weekly or monthly basis. And you can wear these as jewelry, or you can just carry a piece of these crystals around with you, and that will provide you with protection as well. And I also wanted to mention that these crystals can provide you with protection against radiation and electromagnetic energy that is in the air, the things that we can't see, such as 5G and some of these, these things that can cause damage to our bodies that are created from technology. These crystals will help to protect you from that as well. So they're great, and black tourmaline has been a game changer for me. I don't leave anywhere without it, and I can always sense and I can always tell when I'm not wearing it. And then the third thing you can do as an empath is set boundaries for yourself with other people. Setting boundaries can be difficult for empaths because remember, there's that people-pleasing quality that a lot of them have. And we can sense when people are disappointed in us. But this is going to be very important for you as an empath. So like, let's say that you have a person in your life who you find very draining. Set boundaries and decide how much of your energy you're going to give that person. This could mean limiting the amount of time that you spend with them, either via phone, text, or in person. Now you are limiting your amount of energy that you're giving to that person. Whereas before it might have been you see this person every week. Now it's only maybe once a month, or you turn down, an invitation from them every now and then. Now, they might not be very happy with this, right? Especially if they're coming to you for advice all the time, or they're coming to you for help and you're always kind of there to support them. What you can do is you can just kind of guide them in a different direction. Maybe give them some ideas for, receiving different types of therapy, maybe, right? Or contacting people that can support them within the community, like if you guys belong to some sort of like church group or something, or right, there's always groups on meetups.com. You could suggest maybe them checking out meetups.com and to see if there's groups that could help them with what it is that they're dealing with. So there's a lot of resources out there so that you're not just completely leaving this person high and dry. And I mean, I know this can be hard because like a lot of times this is family, right? Or these are people that we've been friends with for a really long time, or people that we're in relationships with, right? People that we have romantic relationships with. So it can be kind of hard to just kind of like cut those people out completely. So that's going to be up to you, right? That's going to be one of the challenges for you as an empath, is kind of figuring out like, how do I set this boundary with this person that's kind of been draining me, right? And this person who's kind of been an energy vampire in my life this whole time. Like, how do I cut this cord, right? How do I set limits now? Because I haven't been doing that this whole time. So I'll leave that one up to you, but it's definitely something you need to consider as an empath, because your energy is the most important thing, right? You need to be taking care of your energy and protecting your energy first and foremost. Always remember that. There's nothing wrong with setting boundaries. It doesn't make you a bad person or a person who isn't spiritual. If anything, it's the opposite. It makes you a strong person who has a lot of love for themselves and is capable of taking care of themselves and protecting themselves, which is what you need to do to become spiritually strong, right? This is how you gain spiritual strength and become spiritually strong. So let me know in the comments below if you're an empath. Did it turn out that you have these common signs? Did it turn out that you have these numbers in your chart? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with other people. It really helps to get this information out to as many people that it can help as possible. And if you want to get a personal reading with me, then you can go over to my website. I will put that information in the description box as well. I would love to have you subscribe and to become part of the family. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.